Hi Steve, this is Greg. I've got your file open here and I think I understand what you want to do. You want to make a symbol out of these hands and then map it to that 3D object. And I've gone through this and kind of figured out the problems you're having, and I think I've solved those problems. So I'm going to walk through this for you so you can understand what's going on here. So I'm selecting that object and I can see that you've made a clipping mask out of it from various other elements. And I'm going to drag it into the symbols panel. I don't need to worry about any of these things here. I'll leave the defaults and click OK. So now that's a symbol. But you can see from the bounding box that the symbol includes some other objects. And that's what happens when you create a clipping mask. It includes everything that's part of that object. And it looks like there are some extraneous elements that were included in the clipping mask over there on the right there. And that's why this symbol is looking kind of weird. It's you wouldn't be able to do much with it. So I'm going to undo the symbol. I'll just do Control Z and undo that. And now I'm going to release the clipping mask so that we can look at the original layers. So I go to clipping mask and release. And now the layers are back as they were originally before you did the clipping mask. I'll zoom out so that we can see what's going on here. I'll select that object and you can see there are some other things over there. So I'm going to open up the sublayers for the left hand, and I can see there's one object there, and there's another object which looks like the photograph that you drew the hands from. So those were included in the clipping mask, and that's what's getting in the way of creating this symbol. So I'm just going to select those layers and delete them. They're also on the right hand sublayers, so I'll select those two layers and delete them. Okay, so that's done. And now I'll make sure that object is selected and I'll create the clipping mask again. So I'll just go to Object, down to Clipping Mask and Make. And now I'll make a symbol out of it. Just drag it in the Symbols panel. I'll leave everything the default, click OK. So now you can see it does include that little area of the wrists and the circle above it, but it's not including those other layers that we deleted. So that's better. So now I'm assuming you want to map it to that 3D object. So I'll select the 3D object. I'll open up my Appearance panel. And I'll click on the 3D Extrude and Bevel, click the Preview, click Map Art. It looks like that's the surface I want to map it to, so I'll choose that symbol. And there's the symbol, but it's not appearing on the 3D object. So there's a little problem we've got. Now, something that I've learned over the years, a long, long time ago, is that stray anchor points in an object can prevent certain things from happening, like mapping this symbol to the 3D object. Sometimes we just start clicking with the pen tool and we end up with an extraneous anchor point and we don't even know it's there. So I double-clicked the symbol to go into symbol editing mode. So that's where we are now. And I'm going to go up to Select, Object, and over to Stray Points. And like I said, these stray points can happen just when we're using the pen tool. We click and we don't do something else. So we've got these kind of invisible stray points. And those can prevent us from doing what we want to do. And I see here that it is selecting some stray points. I don't know where they are. I'm just going to press the Delete key, and that deleted those stray points. So again, this was something that took me a long time to figure out, but it does help in certain situations. So now I'm going to select the 3D object, Preview, Map Art, select that symbol, and there it is. So those extraneous points, whatever they were preventing the symbol from being mapped. And of course, I can enlarge that symbol, move it around however I want to. So that's the problem. First, you were having a problem with those layers that were part of the clipping mask. So I deleted those. And then there were some extraneous stray points once it became a symbol that we needed to delete. So I hope this helps. You're doing great in class. I really appreciate all the work you're doing. And looking forward to your packaging project, and your logo looks terrific. So I hope this helps. Thanks, Steve.